I would literally be singing in English class and reading the Wine Spectator, and like
no problem.
There was just no controlling my insanity.
Cause we're gonna be legends, gonna get their attention. What we're doing here ain't just scary, it's about to be legendary. Yeah, we're gonna be legends, gonna teach them all a lesson. Got this feeling in our souls we carry.
What if I told you this was the last Monday morning of your life? If you think a lot's happened in the last 10 years, wait till you see what happens over the next 10 years. The stakes are enormously high. And I'm not here fear-mongering. This is just what's happening. Very honestly, the fact that you're the creme de la creme of this is, like, I assume that the majority of people in this room are like, yes, this is the opportunity. This is where I transition from a $6 million a year business to a $15 million a year business. This is when I transition from a $180,000 a year business to a $2.9 million business. This is pure opportunity. The problem is, and this is where everybody defaults into, they raise their, Gary, I didn't grow up with this. Me neither, Carl. I didn't grow up with this either, Carl. And guess what, Carl? You didn't grow up driving and you figured it out. Understanding the digital landscape and what our consumers are doing on it is now oxygen for businesses.
That's awesome.
Thank you, darling. Give me a kiss.
Oh,
Take care.
oh,
Thank
yes,
you for having me.
I'm glad you had a nap.
Yes, I did have a nap. Take care. Thanks for listening. Bye, guys. Thank you for listening. Bye. Thank you. Take care, man. Thank you, brother. Thanks, Michael. Bye. Let's name it the 2017 Small Business Talk. DROCK. Yo, 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 yo. Twitter, Twitter, Twitter. What's going on? Good to see you guys. Morning. I'm in Louisiana. Headed to Vegas for CES. Got a phone call in a few minutes. But just want to jump on to Twitter and give you guys some love. See how you're doing. And maybe we'll jump on a little bit and see how we do this. So hope you guys are doing super well. Hope life is good. Yeah, this new jacket is fly. You love it, D-Rock, right?
Yeah, it's really nice.
Just looking at stuff. All good stuff. Dublin, what's up? Good to see you. No, Patriots, no way. Yeah. Anyway, see ya. Catch up. This is for you, my friend.
Well, that's very generous.
Take care of yourself.
Appreciate the
Have a
courtesy.
great new year.
All right.
Take care. I'm gonna try to add more context to days. In the time that I got off stage and drove to this airport, one of our big new scopes from last year got cut in half from 2 million to 1 million, which is a problem because the scale of the dollars was gonna help it be more successful. And one of the CEOs of one of my successful startups is having some cultural issues where the team is struggling. So that's hardcore. And so very quickly, in 2 seconds, 2 pretty substantial fires. But you take them in the micro at the moment, and then you start leveling them up to a macro, right? You know, I take the hit, I absorb it, now I'm thinking, I'm pondering, and now I'm already strategizing on how to fix it. I think way too many people spend too much time dwelling, and they allow something like this to ruin their day, or ruin their week, or ruin their month, or ruin their year. I think one of the things I talk about is having a stomach, having the stomach for this game. This is exactly what I refer to. I've been around a lot of executives and a lot of partners who would use something like this as a day ender, as I call it. I've come to realize how much of a strength that is of mine of putting things in the proper context and dealing with reality. And you know, when you're an entrepreneur, you're a firefighter, especially if you're in the last line of defense. It's all on you. There's no punting it down. Right now we have a potential conflict issue of like, which account do we go to? I'm like trying to keep Marcus from Office CEO. Give me a day, but the truth is I'm not accomplishing anything here. I'm just thinking, I'm trying to ponder, but the quicker you make actions, quicker you can adjust to negativity, big blows, medium blows, large blows. the turnaround speed and your adjustment to an issue is usually an unbelievable proxy to the level of success you will have as an entrepreneur. So you need to start conditioning yourself for the emotional war that entrepreneurship is.
And what are you doing now?
Right now I'm answering an A&A for Mogul media site that I'm an investor in. Great entrepreneur, she asked me. And it's really not what I want to be using my time on, but I think you have to come through for the partnerships you make, and so she doesn't ask often, and so even though it's a tough week and things of that nature, I'm doing this A&A on their site, on mogul.com, and mogul.com, and cranking away at answers, just trying to get through a bunch so I can get through security here. Somebody asked me about a time in my life when I was going through a struggle and how I got through, and it made me think about 2005 when I turned 30 and I realized that my actions were not backing up my words. I've said that a couple of times, if you have the audacity to dream, you have to make your actions, you have to do it. And I had a moment like that. I was very successful, I built a huge business, and I would say from 28 to 30, I probably got caught into some form of complacency. We were growing like crazy, but it was complacent compared to the ambition that I set out to accomplish. And so from 28 to 30, I was building a big business, a big wine e-commerce business. I was innovating, I was hustling, but I wasn't working as hard as I am now. I wasn't doing strategically smart things that were gonna allow me to achieve the professional things that I wanted. And I wasn't so over-capitalizing on my family time with Lizzie in return either. So it wasn't like I was getting some amazing benefit. And so 28 to 30 was an interesting time for me because I think that there was so much success so fast that I got caught for 24 months of maybe not hustling as hard and as smart as I could. And more importantly, on my 30th birthday, I realized I wasn't gonna buy the New York Jets. And that's kind of weirdly okay. As you guys know, I want that, but that's okay. What crushed me was I was full of shit. I wasn't putting in the work at a macro and micro level to give me a chance to buy the New York Jets. Just got into Vegas, connected in Houston, waiting for DROCK to come off the plane. CS for a couple of days, day and a half, and then back on the grind. Going to Seattle to try to sign a kid for Vayner Sports. Just did a bunch of email. The eBay challenge is out of control. The 21 Savage moment in the Ask Gary Vee show caught people's attention. So, what's going on? The ambition I have and the excitement I have is the process of trying to buy the New York Jets versus buying them. And so, yeah, I think that era was interesting to me. And so, when I tell you that your actions have to back up your words, I come from a place of experience because I lived a couple years there where I didn't. And I know what it tastes like, and I got into a place where I really spoke to myself from November 14, 2005 through just probably January 15, 2005, and then February 20th, 2006, February 2005, I started Wine Library TV and started taking the internet more seriously, and the rest was history. When I was 15 years old, I signed up for your catalog and would post it in my room like it was a Pamela Anderson poster. MacArthur's is legitimately one of the 7 or 8 stores that I looked up to before I built Wine Library. That's really cool. Like that was such an amazing time in my life where I was still in high school but knew that who I was gonna be, and would like literally, like this is not a joke, would literally take the catalog that you guys would send and read it in the middle of English class. Like the level of disrespect that I had for my teachers was so extreme, like out of a sitcom. I would literally be singing in English class and reading the Wine Spectator, like there was just no controlling my insanity. Just leaving the Media Link party and now heading to a Carbone dinner with a bunch of friends. Just hustling. CS is a grind. 18, 19-hour days, meeting after meeting in Vegas, trying to make it happen. So, we'll see what's up. See ya.